Hi there, my name is Dave Harrington-Wright and I'm a volunteer at the Hospice of the Good Shepherd. I never imagined I'd be asking for urgent support for the hospice. It's a much loved local hospice. The reality is, because of the shocking impact of the coronavirus, which has of course impacted many of us out in the community, the hospice is now facing an unprecedented financial crisis, a position that it never thought it would be in. No one ever thinks they will need the support of their local hospice. I certainly didn't. But we were so grateful for their support towards the end of my wife's life earlier this year. I'd heard about the hospice, its reputation, and I knew that this is where I wanted my wife to be cared for in her final few weeks. It was absolutely amazing. When we just walked in through the door, and immediately we knew it was the right decision. It just felt like someone had put their arms around us. Fiona was very well cared for, and she was totally pain-free, which was the first time in the 18 months she'd suffered. She was treated as an individual, and the staffing levels and the care and the person-centred care was absolutely excellent. They didn't just look after Fiona, they looked after me and the wider visitors and family. The nurses always had the time for everybody, and nothing was too much trouble. I was so relieved to know she was in the best possible place. I'm sure that the hospice has supported a member of your family or a friend, a work colleague or a neighbour in your area, and you'll know just how much this hospice contributes to the community and how precious a resource it is. The hospice is a charity. It only receives 25% of its funding from the government, so it means it has to raise over £3 million a year just to keep running. And this primarily comes from donations and sponsorships. Of course, this is all now on hold. They cannot have any fundraising events, and the staff are anticipating that this will be at least a £1.1 million shortfall for this year. That's the impact of the coronavirus that's having on the people that we love. Obviously, there are no fundraising activities taking place now, and we're not quite sure when they will start up again. So the cash flow crisis is now. It's real and it's happening. Fiona supported her charities all her life, and I would know she'd want me to tell her story and for it to be part of trying to make a difference. None of us know when we'll need a hospice. I hope you never do. But it's nice to know that it's there, and we need to keep this hospice going for the future. I know we're all facing uncertain times and challenging times, but I'd ask you to make a donation now, today, to help the hospice, so they can continue to deliver their care and a much needed end-of-life care for the patient and for the families and visitors.